Are there dangers for not bearing fruits? Well, in today's video, Dr. Mensa Otabil talks about being fruitful and the dangers of not being fruitful. Keep watching.
Now we go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 28. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth." To be fruitful simply means to grow, to blossom, and to be productive. So when God says, be fruitful, he is commanding man to blossom, to grow, and to be productive. It means to produce results that are beneficial and profitable. God instructed Adam to be a productive person. That's the first thing he told him. Be fruitful. He could have told him so many things. He could have said, worship me, which was important. He could have said, pray every day, which is important. He could have said, just listen to me, which is important. But in all of these, God just gave him the first instruction to be a productive person. That means that all that we do as Christians, whether we're praying, we're studying the Bible, we're living holy lives, we're living righteous for the Lord, all of it must lead us to be productive people. Because if we do all of these things and none of it makes us productive, it doesn't produce results, then it's just an activity. Our lives must end up being productive. And Adam had to produce everything he needed out of what God had already created, put him in. God gave Adam trees, but never built furniture for him. If Adam wanted furniture, he had to go to the trees and make furniture out of them. That's his job. God planted vegetables and fruits for him, but God never cooked for Adam. Adam had to learn to put all of these together to make a meal. God invested so much knowledge in his world, but he didn't write a physics book or a biology book for Adam. Adam had to discover the laws of nature in the world that God has created for him. So that tells you that part of fruitfulness is in discovery. Part of fruitfulness is in taking what God has given us and using it productively and beneficially. Of course, part of it is having babies, having children, but that is only one aspect of being fruitful or being productive. We become productive in so many other areas of our lives. So when God said, be fruitful, it was not only to Adam, it is to all of us, to the human race. Be fruitful. Be fruitful is an imperative. In other words, you can't do anything outside of it. You can't choose, oh, I will want to be fruitful, I don't want to be fruitful. You have to be fruitful. It's a divine command. And there are three concepts that emerge from that. First is that when God says be something, it means you have what it takes. God will not say be fruitful if you don't have the capacity to be fruitful. You don't have what it takes to be fruitful. So each one of us have what it takes to be fruitful. Secondly, it means be something means show it, demonstrate it. So fruitfulness cannot just be something inside you that nobody sees. It has to be seen, be, manifest it, produce it. It has to be out there. So when we live in fruitful lives, it has to be seen, it has to manifest. And being fruitful is a command to obey. It's not a suggestion, it's not God's opinion that is left for you to determine whether it's right or wrong. No, it's God's command. We must be fruitful. He didn't say try to be fruitful. He didn't say attempt to be fruitful. He says be it. So I have no excuse, you have no excuse not to be fruitful. And next week we'll look a little bit about how God looks at us when we are not fruitful and how God treats us. But just get it. It's a command. We have to be, we have to manifest it, and we have what it takes. So be fruitful. That's my word to you. Matthew chapter 21, verse 19. And seeing a fig tree by the road, he came to it and found nothing on it but leaves, and said to it, let no fruit grow on you ever again. Immediately the fig tree withered away. It is just stunning to see what Jesus did to this fig tree, because it would seem uncharacteristic of Jesus. Why do I say that? Jesus was noted for miracles. Miracles were the hallmark of his life and of his ministry. And when you look at the ministry of Jesus, you see many miracles. In the miracles of Jesus, he takes something bad and makes it good. He takes something that is not doing well and it does well. The sick become healed, the blind see. He doesn't make a situation worse off. When there is a storm, he calms it. That's how Jesus works. However, in this particular miracle, Jesus takes a situation that is not good and makes it worse off. And that should puzzle us. Why was Jesus so vehement against this tree? There could be other eschatological explanations for it, but I'm just going to look at it from the surface of it. Why did Jesus react so vehemently? Why did he look at the tree that was not bearing fruit? Why didn't he just say, bear fruit? He had the power to do that. But he actually denied it further from ever being useful. And this is not rare if you take into account parables of Jesus and teachings of Jesus. In the parable of the talents, we see it. Jesus talked about the fact the person who was unproductive had his talent taken from him and given to the one who is productive. Our normal response would be, if somebody is unproductive, we encourage them. If somebody is wasting resources, we encourage them. However, that is not God's approach. God does not take kindly to wastage. So when he says to us, be fruitful, it's a command. And if we persist in not being fruitful, he takes from us the power to ever be fruitful again. And that's a very severe judgment on us. That means if God gives me his grace, he gives me gifts, he gives me ability, he opens doors for me, he gives me opportunity, and I mess it up, and I don't work hard, and I'm lazy, and I don't use his gifts well, he will take what he has given to me from my hand. That is God's judgment. So God does not pamper fruitlessness. God does not encourage fruitlessness. And so the warning to all of us is, if we keep living unproductive lives, squandering opportunities, abusing the gifts of God, misusing his grace, he will actually deny us everything that he has given to us. He took the 1 talent from the person he gave to, and he took life from this fig tree, because that story later says it withered and died on the ground because it is wasting the nutrients of the ground. If we fail to use God's gifts to be fruitful, unfortunately, he'll take his gifts and abilities from us. So we have no other recourse except to be fruitful and maximize the opportunities that God has for us. So this week, let us be fruitful.
The core scriptures were taken from Genesis chapter 1 verse 28 and Matthew chapter 21 verse 19. To be fruitful simply means to grow and be productive. Be fruitful is a command to mankind. Everything you do as a Christian, be it reading the Bible, praying, fasting, giving to the needy, must all lead to being productive. Our lives must end up being productive. Part of fruitfulness is in discovery. When God said be fruitful, he wasn't only talking to Adam, but all of us. Each one of us has what it takes to be fruitful. Being fruitful is a command. But if you don't become fruitful, He takes from us the power to be fruitful again. If God gives you a talent and you don't take care of it and you abuse it, He will take it away from you. God doesn't pamper fruitlessness. God doesn't encourage fruitlessness. If we live unproductive lives or abuse the gifts of God, He will take all away from us. We have no option not to be fruitful. Be fruitful in everything you do. Help us to be fruitful by sharing this message with others. We encourage you to watch the next video on your screen. Stay connected.